Hey, back again for another recap of Raw. Um, it's a good one. Right after Elimination Chamber, where they highlight, of course, the winners of everybody. But then it starts out with the Vision coming out there. Heyman, Logan Paul, and Austin Theory going out the ring and doing their usual. They're doing is bitching about things, wanting to shut down Raw until they get a hold of Seth, because they understand, they're mad at Seth because what he did. Um, but as they're going, Anna Pierce comes out and says, I don't think so. Gonna get rid of him. And then we get a masked man come running out. Security. Pierce chases that guy off. Another one pops out. There goes Logan. Another one pops up. Austin Theory chases after that one. I was like, well, what the heck? Another one comes out down the aisle because Paul Heyman is the only one left. And it's like, I looked at him like, well, no, that ain't Seth. Seth shows up behind him, hits him with a table, hits him with the chair, and curb stomps him. After the break, they see uh, Heyman getting loaded up with the bloody face. You know, great way to do it, to put in the injury that he might be gone for a little bit, and that could happen. Um, but then in the process of them backstage worried about him, they're gonna go get the car, and then all of a sudden, uh, Jimmy shows up, takes out Austin there because of what he did to his brother. Then, as he does that and goes out of the ambulance, there's LA Knight driving the ambulance. Um, yeah, gotta love it. Fun way to start out the show on Monday. And then, let's see here. First match of the night was Dragon Lee and Gunther. Dragon Lee put on a good show, but as I've expected, Dragon Lee did lose, but he did a good job. He went after him just to start because that's what you got to do with him because he's so big. But we'll see how that goes. This backstage with the Kabuki Warriors and where Asuka is to Kyrie. I don't know what's. Eventually, Kyrie's gonna snap and beat the shit out of Asuka or something. I'm not sure. It might happen that way. You never know. The explosion of tag teams that happens. But gotta love the Kabuki Warrior. But AJ out there trying to figure it out, backstage. But she gets up there and goes to do promo in the ring there and throws out the challenge. She's gonna be a fighting champion. So, don't know if she'll have a match on Raw or they're gonna hold it back and wait until WrestleMania. I don't think so, but she will do that. And then after a backstage altercation earlier in the day, they showed when they showed up. El Grande Americano, the original, gets to go against the Rahu Americana, one of the two cronies there. He does get the win, and they're still teasing that. They're going to have a match. Oh, it's a fatal four-way, so it's not gonna be one-on-one, but they got a match in AAA coming up soon. But I think they're gonna conclude that sometime. I hope at WrestleMania because that'd be fun. Have those two mass versus mass or something. It's gonna happen eventually. When it is, I don't know, but that it's gonna happen, mass versus mass, and then I don't know who's gonna be unmasked. The original or the new one. I don't know. if they're going to still have him on that and being featured down in AAA, the second Americana, he's going to keep the mask on because he's doing awesome in AAA. So it's probably going to be revealed of Chad Gable being the original, which will be fine. Chad can get his flowers and come back strong with hopefully the Creed brothers who haven't been around, but Ivy's been around, but neither of the Creeds. I don't know. So let's see here. Oh yeah, they did. Rusev did show up and called out Oba, and Oba came out and said, "Yeah, let's go get in this ring." They tough a little bit and everything, so that is gonna proceed to a match, which they did announce later on in the night that next Monday they're gonna have Russo against Oba. He had his match against The Miz on Friday on SmackDown, so he's gonna have one on this, and then hopefully we'll find out where he's gonna be. As Jesse said, two meaty men slap and beat for about 15, 20 minutes. Ooh, the big boys are going to hit. It's going to be fun. And a lot of people are trying to go and get the Intercontinental title match because, she kind of laid an open challenge and said, "Hey, everybody, ladies, step up." AJ told them, so we're going to see that. And as a result of all that, they did announce that they're going to have a gauntlet match next Monday for number one contender for that. And I think they put on here... no, they didn't write down. I'd have to look it up. But I think it's Ivy, Raquel, Bailey, Lyra Valkyria, and possibly one more in there. I think there's 6. I'd have to look it up again. But it's going to have a slew of great contenders for that. We'll see how it goes to do that. Let's see. Next match up was Jimmy taking on Austin Theory. Jimmy won by DQ because Logan Paul popped in there, and then Jay showed up to help even the odds there. So there might be a tag team match between those two probably coming up, I would think. I wouldn't doubt it. And then one of my... I was waiting for this, and he showed up. Danhausen did make an appearance, and he... let's see here. He kind of looked at Adam Pearce, and he was like, "Oh, Steve Austin." No, he's confused. It's Danhausen. He's great. If you don't love that guy, I don't know. But he gave a piece of paper to Adam Pearce about his demands, and it says here he wants his list of demands: a blimp, Hall of Fame induction, personal assistant, and his face on all trucks. This is his normal stuff, as anybody knows Danhausen. He gives the paper to Pierce, and he goes, "It's wet." And he goes, "What happened?" "Oh, it fell in the toilet." Yeah. Oh, I don't know who's going to be more fun. As we were saying, it's going to be Truth on SmackDown or Danhausen on Raw. I think that's where we're going to have it, or if he goes over to SmackDown, or if Truth comes over to Raw and they go to... it's going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts. Gotta love that Danhausen. We'll see how many shirts he's going to sell. Probably a lot. Well, in the process of that, Adam Pearce introduced Danhausen to Judgment Day. He knew Dom, he knew Finn, but he didn't know JD, and he goes, "I hate him already." And then in response, Danhausen goes, you're cursed, you're cursed, you're cursed. He cursed the Judgment Day. Not a good idea, because next up was Dom's Intercontinental match against Penta. And we got a new champion because Dom was cursed. Penta gets his first singles championship in WWE. Much deserved. Zach and Jesse thought this would not change hands until maybe WrestleMania. They might rewind it and have a rematch at WrestleMania for that, possibly. It's a good possibility. Or they'll do it on a Raw before WrestleMania. I'm not sure, but yep, he was cursed, and that's what happens when you get cursed by Danhausen. It just doesn't work for you. Is this the end of the Judgment Day as we know? It's going to change up because Finn is doing his babyface tendencies, not wanting Dom to cheat because he said he wanted to do it on his own. It didn't work out that way, so we'll see what happens in a couple weeks with AAA. If Dom is going to keep his title, we'll see there. And if he doesn't, he's gone from AAA, which will be interesting. So he might not lose, but we will see, because he's kind of a babyface down there, and El Vicano, he's kind of the heel. So we'll see. But to end out the night, we had the original tribal chief out. He was going to speak, and then CM Punk came out, and with some people, they didn't like the last time they interacted and cut a promo against each other. I think they did a great job cutting a promo. Got very personal between the two because of what, as he said, Punk told him, I brought you up. I brought the Shield up, and he goes, you brought those two, not him, which, if you look it up in the history, it's that, yeah, Roman was not going to be the third guy. Somebody else was picked for it, and then they decided against it, and then somebody else called Roman up. So, good back and forth. Roman looking at him, calling him Phil. And then to end it, Roman thought he was done, and Punk flipped him around, chewed him a new ass, and then dropped a phrase at the end that got very personal. After you said all that, I'm done. I'm going to bury you, and bury you right next to your dad, your father. I was like, whoa. Yeah, they're I don't know. They're going back and forth. They love it. This is good. People are gonna complain about this promo. No, it's good. Good way to end the show on a kind of a cliffhanger there. We'll see what happens next week. I don't think Roman's going to be there next week, but it'll probably be there the week after, something like that. He's going to be there at least 2 or 3 more times before WrestleMania, so they can hype this up. But Punk being on there every night, every Monday, will do a good job for that anyway. So all around, I get a good, solid Monday Night Raw after their PLE, and so happy that we have a new Intercontinental Championship. I said I'm a big fan of Penta. I'm looking forward to that, and we'll see what happens, because Rhea's going to be on SmackDown, and if that's going to be a permanent thing or not, I don't know. We'll see. If she does a championship, she'll be there permanently and not back on Raw. But we will see how it goes and everything. Let me know what you thought of Raw, and I will hopefully be able to do a recap of The CW, or NXT on CW. They're going to have a couple good matches on this week. So I hope to be able to catch that hopefully Wednesday morning, and I'll be able to do one and to do a recap of it later. It's going to be on our YouTube page. Look for my recaps. I'm going to try to have them all under one venue. Hopefully, Zach will get a few things up there. Jesse will be Jay's taking that back. I hope so. We need to get more stuff on this YouTube page. And then coming up this March, we're going to have 2 events. Hopefully, we are going to be at. We got one, I know definitely. The second one, not sure about. Work time. Got to get it off. So, you guys have a good night. Hope you enjoyed the Raw like I did. Hope you can enjoy NXT, AEW Dynamite on Wednesday, TNA on Thursday, and SmackDown again on Friday. Gotta love it when you have wrestling every single day of the week. Until the next time, see ya.